Assalamu alaikum mentioned that 1,24,000 prophets, only 25 of them are named in the Quran. We have some knowledge about these prophets from the Quran, from Hadith, and even from earlier books like the Torah and Bible, but educational journey through these 25 prophets mentioned in the Quran were where they were sent and where those lands are now in today's world. They were human beings just like us. They had families, they had desires, but they dedicated their lives to their mission in the Quran. Peace be upon them all. Before we start, please subscribe to our channel so we can reach more people. Adam alayhi salam, the first human and the first prophet, we was created by the command of Allah from different types of soil. The angel mixed this soil with water and shaped it. After waiting for 40 years, the clay hardened and became like dry mud salsal. On the 10th day of Muharram, Allah gave him a soul and taught him by Allah's command. The angels prostrated to Adam, but Iblis became arrogant. He was then cast out of paradise. Adam married Hawa, who was created in paradise, and they lived there together for a while. However, because they ate from the forbidden tree, they were sent down to earth. Adam realized his mistake and sincerely repented. Allah accepted his repentance. See Surah Al-Baqarah 237. Allah appointed Adam as a Khalifa representative on earth. After being separated from Hawa for many years, they met again in Arafat and built the Kaaba. Adam al-Islam was chosen as a prophet. He was given a small book with 10 pages. He taught people about faith, worship and knowledge. They lived in towns and worked with crafts and skills. A tragic event happened between Adam's sons, Habil and Kabil. Driven by jealousy, killed his brother Habil. This was the first murder in human history. Humanity continued through the children of both brothers. According to some narrations, Adam al-Islam lived a long life, about 960 years, even though worship and divine teachings continued among his children and grandchildren through the children of both brothers. According to some narrations, Adam al-Islam lived a long life, about 960 years, even though worship and divine teachings continued among his children and grandchildren. After his death, over time, some people began to go astray. This would later lead to the coming of new prophets. It is said that his grave is in either Jerusalem, Mina of or Arfat. Hadith mentioned that his height was between 30 and 40 meters. Idris alayhi salam. Idris alayhi salam is one of the prophets mentioned in the Quran. According to narrations, he had many special qualities. He was the fifth generation descendant of Adam alayhi salam. Allah gave him 30 suhuf, small scriptures, and taught him many sciences. Before him, people who wore animal skins or leaves. He taught people how to sew clothes and build cities. He knew 72 languages. and invited every community to the true religion. Idris was the first person to write, to use a pen, and to teach knowledge. He also studied the stars and the movement of the sky. Because of this, he is known as the prophet and invited every community to the true religion in their own tongue. Idris was the first person to write, to use a pen, and to teach knowledge. He also studied the stars and the movement of the sky. Because of this, he is known as the prophet of both knowledge and art. He migrated from Babylon to Egypt and lived there for many years, calling people to the true religion. In Surah Al Anbiya, verse 85, he is mentioned as one of the patient, righteous, and truthful people. The Quran says, "We raised him to a high place." Many Islamic scholars believe that he was taken to the heavens without dying. Some narrations say he is in the fourth level of the sky. Nuh alayhi salam was sent as a prophet after Idris alayhi salam. Islamic historians say he was sent to the region of Mosul in Iraq. His people were idol worshippers from Mesopotamia. At the time, people started worshipping idols, and sins like injustice and immorality became common. Nuh al-Islam was given prophethood at the age of 50. He invited his people to believe in Allah and to leave idol worship for 950 years. But only a small number of people believed in him. Most of his people rejected him, mocked him, and treated him badly. When he realized that they would never believe, he prayed to Allah. Then Allah informed him of a great flood that was coming. By Allah's command, he built a large ship. By Allah, he took on board the believers and a pair of every animal. Then the great flood began. Heavy rain poured from the sky, water gushed from the earth, and all those who disbelieved were drowned. The flood lasted for 6 months, and the ship finally came to rest on Mount of the Nuh's own sons did not board the ship and drowned in the water. Nuh al-Islam had three sons, Sam, Ham, and Japheth, who became the ancestors of all people. According to Islamic historians, Sam's descendants include Arabs, Jews, Assyrians, Babylonians, Persians, Syrians, and Arameans. Ham's descendants include African peoples, Egyptian and Ethiopians. Japheth's descendants include Turks, Greeks, Russians, Mongols, Chinese, Indians, and Europeans. These lineages are described in the works of scholars like Ibn Khassi, Tabari, Ibn Khaldun, and other classical Islamic historians and commentators for this reason. Nuh al-Islam is known as the second Adam. He lived a long life and died at the age of 1000. The Quran mentions in many verses and describes him as a very grateful servant of Allah. Hud alayhi salam. Hud alayhi salam was from the descendants of Sam, the son of Nuh. He was sent to the people of Ad in Yemen. The people of Ad earned their living through trade. Over time, they became wealthy and powerful. They built tall buildings, but they also became corrupt and started worshipping idols. They committed injustice, behaved arrogantly, and cheated in trade just for more wealth. Hud al-Islam called them to believe in Allah, but they denied him and warned them first. Then he sent a strong burning wind then that destroyed them. Only Hud salam and those who believed were saved. Hud later settled in Mecca and passed away there. This story is told in many parts of the Quran. Saleh alayhi salam. Saleh alayhi salam was sent as a prophet to the people of Samud were idol worshippers. They were advanced in technology and architecture, carving homes inside mountains and building strong cities. See Surah Al-Araf, verse 74. They lived in a region known today as Madain Saleh. In Saudi Arabia, Saleh invited them to believe in Allah. They said to him, if you bring out a pregnant she camel from this rock in front of our eyes, they said to him, Saleh prayed to Allah, and as a miracle, a large she camel came out of the rock in front of everyone. This camel was a clear sign from Allah. Its milk was so abundant that the entire people could drink without shortage, but the leaders of the tribes said, if this camel stays, Saleh's influence will grow and people will no longer listen to us. They made a secret plan and killed the camel during the night. This was not just killing an animal, it was destroying a sign from Allah. After that, they were given 3 days of warning. During this time, Saleh and the believers left the city, and the third day, a loud sound and a violent shaking from the earth destroyed the people of Samud. Only a small group of true believers survived. The destruction of Samud is mentioned in the Quran as a lesson. Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam is one of the five great prophets in Islam. He was sent to the people of Chaldeans, Kaldani, who were idol worshippers. He defended the belief in Tawheed oneness of Allah while his people were away celebrating a festival. Ibrahim salam broke the idols except the biggest one and he hung the axe around its neck. When they returned, they questioned him to Ibrahim salam. Ibrahim said, maybe the big one did it. Ask him. He defeated them with wisdom. They had no answer, but still they lit a huge fire and threw him into it. By the will of Allah, the fire didn't burn him, and he came out safely. After this, his people rejected him. By Allah's command, he migrated. He traveled with his wife Sarah to Egypt and then to Palestine. In Egypt, he married Hajra as his second wife. After many years without children, Ibrahim had a son, Ismail.